Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory and infinite praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rachak Radash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of GMS. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect out there pushing His word in truth and sincerity. Shalom. Alright, for this lesson, I'm going to be completing Psalms, the 31st chapter. Alright, for my previous lesson, alright, I stopped in between the chapter, right? So I'm going to just complete it. So Psalm chapter 31 and verse 14 again. It says, "But I trusted in thee, O Lord, I said, thou art my power." Okay, so we was going into it, right? How King David went through a lot of adversity, right? He had a lot of enemies, all right? But throughout it all, all right, he maintained trust in the Most High, right? So this is the theme for the chapter. Now it says, "My times are in thy hand, deliver me from the hand of mine enemies and from them that persecute me." Okay, so my times are in thy hand, right? As we read right in the last lesson, all right, it said well, sorry, the second chapter, but also in the chapter, right, King David saying, my spirit I'm gonna commit unto thee, right? I'm gonna just maintain my faith and my trust in you, all right, you know, throughout it all. Okay, so this is what he's saying, right? I'll read it again. It says, "My times are in thy hand, deliver me from the hand of my enemies and from them that persecute me." Okay, "Make thy face to shine upon thy servant, save me for thy mercy's sake." Okay, the first precept, right, that comes to my mind, where I thought about Isaiah, right? In the book of Isaiah, it says that we are like a worm, right? Israel is like a worm. Okay, and a lot of times written in the book of Psalms, right? King David said, "My enemies are greater than me." All right, so that there's times, right, that we find ourselves with the people who are persecuting us, right? Which we know that there will be a persecution upon the house of the Most High, right? As it is written, right? It says second and 16th chapter, right? It says they should be like madmen, sparing none, right? But still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Okay, so we know that that we will get persecuted, right? We receive we go through many persecutions, right, in our faith. Okay, but like King David is saying, right? I'm gonna just commit myself unto you. Right? I'm gonna just have faith in the Most High, right? Same with the 21st chapter. All right, it says they shall deliver you up into councils, right, synagogues. All right, but don't think about what you're gonna say, right? For the Most High Spirit is gonna be in you, right? And it says what? Not a hair on your head shall be touched. Okay, so what does that look like, right? What does that portray, right? This faith, right? Believing in the Most High, right? We're gonna get persecuted, right? But we know that we're gonna be delivered, all right? Throughout it all. Now it says, "Let me not be ashamed, O Lord, for I have called upon thee. Let the wicked be ashamed, and let them be silent in the grave." Okay, so we want the Most High to be a just power, right? Which the Most High is a just power. Okay, all right. So us, believing in the Heavenly Father, right, doing all right what's written. Okay, we know that we will be delivered. Okay, it's written that we're going to be delivered. All right, it says what? They shall lift up. The Most High shall lift up a standard when the enemy shall come in like a flood. Right, it says the Heavenly Father shall lift up a standard for us. Okay, so it's written that we're going to be delivered. All right, and we have faith that we will be. Right, and the Heavenly Father, He's a just power. Right, He's not going to let the righteous, all right, be consumed. Right, He's going to judge the wicked. Okay, as it says in Psalms. All right, it says all right, the righteous shall wash their feet. All right, in the blood of the wicked. Okay, and then it says what? Verily there shall be known there's a power that judgeth in the earth. Okay, all right, so the elect, right, the righteous, we're going to be delivered out of Rantaza. We be part of that number. All right, it says, "Let the lying lips be put to silence, which speak grievously things proudly and contemptuously against the righteous." Okay, so those that try to strive against the righteous, right, just let them be ashamed, right? Just judge them, right, as it's written. Okay, in the book of Isaiah, right, it says how all those that try to strive against us, they're going to be confounded, right? They're going to be ashamed. Okay, it says, "Thou shalt hide them in the secret of thy," verse 19, it says, "Oh, how great is thy goodness, which thou hast laid up for them that fear thee, which thou hast wrought for them that trust in thee before the sons of men." Right, so how great is the goodness of the Heavenly Father to those that fear Him, right? It says how the Most High is going to bless them, right, before the sons of men. Okay, That reminds me of Second Ezra, the second chapter, right? It says how, well, we can read it. It says, Second Ezra chapter 2, verse 26, as for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will acquire them from among thy number. All right, so it talks about the elect, right? The servants that the Most High is dealing with, right? None of them shall perish, right? We're going to be delivered out of Ratazah, like Yahweh Shai said, right? There shall be some of you that shall not see death, right? Meaning the elect, right? Certain members of the elect aren't going to physically die until Yahweh Shai returns, right? We're going to witness Yahweh Shai, okay? Deliver us, okay? Now it says, be not weary, for when the day of trouble in heaven is cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. Okay, so don't be weary, right? Don't doubt. Okay, don't faint. Okay, right? Because when judgment comes down the pipeline, right? Others is gonna, be going through that judgment, right? But it says that we're gonna be merry and have abundance. Meaning what? We're gonna have a joyful spirit. All right, and the Heavenly Father's gonna be there for us, right? He's gonna deliver us throughout it all, right? Because we know the prophecies, right? Famine, Jacob's trouble, okay? Judgment, World War III, right? Mass death and destruction, right? It's going to take place, okay? But the Heavenly Father's servants, okay? We're going to be good throughout it all right? Now it says, the heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, save the Lord. All right, so the heathen, right, the nations, right, they're going to envy us, right, because it's going to be evident that the Most High is dealing with us, okay, but they're not going to be able to do nothing against us. All right, Romans the 8th chapter, right, it says, if the Most High is for us, who shall be against us, right? So if the Heavenly Father is dealing with us, right, which is evident that the Most High is dealing with us, okay, they're not gonna be able to lay hands on us, right? They're not gonna be able to do nothing against us, right? Because the Heavenly Father, he's the supreme being, okay? So let's read this again. Psalms 31 verse 19. Oh, how great is thy goodness, which thou hast laid up for them that fear thee, which thou hast wrought for them that trust in thee before the sons of men. Thou shalt hide them in the secret of thy presence from the pride of man. Thou shalt keep them secretly in the pavilion from the strife of tongues, right? Which is what? Protection, all right? Throughout it all, right? Throughout slander, all right? Persecution, all right? Judgment, all right? While all these things are taking place, protection unto the Most High's elect, okay? Blessed be the Lord, for he hath shewed me his marvelous kindness in his strong city. If I said in my haste, I am cut off from before thine eyes. Nevertheless, thou heardest from the voice of my supplication when I cried unto thee. Okay, so blessed be the Most High, right? For he's, he's a kind, merciful power, right? Because this King David saying this, right? But he's saying in his haste, right? He thought the Most High wasn't dealing with him no more, right? The Most High did away with him. All right, as I was mentioning, right? King David was a man that experienced a lot of adversity at the hands of the Most High. Okay. All right, and in our walk, right, in our walk of faith, we have similar moments. Okay, there might be moments where we believe that the Heavenly Father is not dealing with us no more. Okay, all right, but as it says, the Most High heard, his voice, all right, when he cried unto him. Okay, and as I mentioned, right, the Most High makes it evident that he's dealing with us, even though we might have those particular low moments in the spirit. Okay. Now it says, oh, love the Lord, O ye his saints, for the Lord preserveth the faithful, and plentifully rewardeth the proud doer. Right? So oh, love the Lord, right? O ye saints, right? The Israelites, all right? Because it says what? The Lord preserveth the faithful, and plenty rewardeth the proud doer. Right? So the Most High delivers and he preserves those that have faith in him. All right? So bless the Heavenly Father, right? For being a just power. Okay? For being a God of truth. Okay? All right, for not breaking his word, all right, and delivering his elect, right, as it's written in Sirach the 2nd chapter, right, it says, look at those, all right, that trusted and had faith in the Most High. Were they ever confounded, right? Were they ever just done away with? There wasn't, okay, meaning the Most High always delivers those that truly believe in him. Now it says, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart, O ye that hope in the Lord. Okay, so be of good courage. All right, we go through particular ups and downs, all right, in our faith, in our walk. Okay, maintain our hope, right? Our hope is an anchor, all right, an anchor of our soul, right? Our belief and hope in Yahweh Shai is the anchor of our soul, right? And no matter what you go through, right, through your faith, okay, you'll be able to maintain and endure throughout it all. Okay, the Most High will strengthen your spirit, the Most High will strengthen your heart, all right, no matter, all right, the scenario. Okay, so with that, I want to give all honor and glory and infinite praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Kodash, double honor to the elders and apostles of GMS. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect out there pushing His word in truth and sincerity. Shalom.